our incline barbell bench press is a great strength move for our chest. It is also working the shoulders as well as the triceps a little bit. The main difference between a flat barbell bench press and an incline barbell bench press is our involving the shoulders a little bit more for this movement than we would on a flat one. You typically cannot do quite as much weight on an incline like you can on a flat barbell bench, so adjust your weight down accordingly before performing this exercise. If you do not have a barbell and bench available to you, you can always do dumbbell incline presses as well for this one. So we're going to want that bench adjusted to about a 45-degree angle. Also, I like the seat adjusted up slightly as well so you're not sliding down out of the seat. We're going to plant those feet flat on the floor just like we would for a regular flat barbell bench press. Come on back, squeeze those shoulder blades back in together. Our grip is very similar to a normal barbell bench press as well, just outside of shoulder width, about 90 degrees with that wrist almost directly above the elbows here. We're going to roll that bar forward in the J-hooks, and we want to make sure that we adjust that bench, if it is adjustable, back to where you're lining that bar up with about our forehead. That way we're not hitting the J-hooks as we press. Once we get that grip, we have the feet planted on the floor. We're going to squeeze those shoulder blades back in together so that we're taking the shoulders as much out of it as possible and focusing as much as we can on that chest. We're going to lift that bar off of those J-hooks, come right over top of the chest, and then nice and controlled, lowering all the way down, pressing back up, lowering right to the top of the chest here as those elbows come down at about a 45. When you're done, lift on up, come all the way back onto those hooks, and then lower it down. Remember, those elbows are about a 45 here. We're not flaring them out high like this. We're not tucking them in at our sides for that incline barbell bench press, just like for a flat barbell bench press. We are keeping those elbows at about a 45 here. Not up here, not down at our sides. Another big key thing to remember, specifically for incline bench press, probably the most common mistake I see made on this exercise, is when you start to tire out, you want to make sure you're not lifting your butt off of the seat or overly arching your back for this movement. So what that looks like here is, a lot of times I'll see people as they start to tire out on this exercise, pressing up like this to where your hips are up off of the bench, or really arching the back like this. And what you are doing when you're moving like that is you're trying to change it more into a flat bench press. You have more strength when you're in a flat bench press because the chest can work a little bit more to help you. So when the hips lift off or you arch the back, the body's trying to get into position closer to a flat bench press. And this kind of negates this movement, and it also makes it to where you have a much higher risk of injury on your low back because it's not going to be supported throughout that movement. So really focus on keeping those hips down and back against that bench, shoulder blades squeezed and feet planted throughout that movement. If you find yourself lifting up or pushing up on that bench, you have too heavy of a weight. Don't let ego get involved. Drop it down. You'll get much better results in the long run. So again, key things to remember: feet planted on the floor, grip just outside of shoulder width, shoulder blades squeezed on this, keeping the hips down against the bench as well. Start with a lighter weight than you would on a normal bench press, and then progress up from there, finding your strength for this tougher movement.